really liked Whispers of Urban Forest. I thought that it was a great interpretation of um, all the trees that are cut down to create our forests and our buildings, and how the trees are still there. I saw that in this interpretive dance that these women were doing. I appreciated that they were wearing very urban clothing, like something that you would see in streetwear, walking on the street. Some clothing that you wouldn't necessarily associate with wilderness or walking around in the forest, but we see them in these sort of city clothes dancing in these beautiful forests, which I thought was a cool juxtaposition of the two. I liked that everyone sort of has their own dance. They're not all doing the same dance, and yet they're in sync with each other, and they interact with each other, sometimes coming together in beautiful ways. Their dance really showed them connecting with nature, which I thought was really cool. The music starts out really haunting, and then sort of gets dissonant and very different, sort of embodying more of the city tones, which I thought was cool to see that in the music as well. And overall, just really beautiful tree shots and really cool movements with this music. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film, and I thought it was a cool interpretation.
This film is called Whispers of an Urban Forest. This is a meditative dance piece. I love the work of this group of young dancers. The choreography is lovely as they work together in groups in this beautiful forest cottage setting. I like the use of the wood beams of the cottage in the dance. The film makes effective use of camera tools such as fades and reversals. I appreciated that these dancers have a lot of talent and passion. I also enjoyed the bright colored wardrobe. The synth and percussion soundtrack is perfect for the tempo of this piece. There was a clear message of love for nature and trees. Great job. Whispers of an Urban Forest. Check it out.
Whispers of the Urban Forest. So I like the calm cinematography introduction and all the angles that the cameraman uses to display the dancers. I like that there is no dialogue in the short, and I like how the short cuts according to the music and the sounds because of that. So it sort of plays on that even though there's no dialogue, which helps a lot. I like the incorporation of still shots as well as moving shots. It helps give sort of that variety for the short.
I really enjoyed Whispers of the Urban Forest. I think it was a really good contemporary modern dance piece, showing, the love and appreciation for nature, and more so like the environment one is in through movement. I think you used the environment very well as, a part of the choreography, and leaning on different structures and getting into it. As well as like showing the fluidity of nature. Sometimes it almost felt like, I think the personification of trees within the dance, within the movement was great. I think there was a certain fluidity with a certain strength within the entire piece that really presented that well. I think it was really beautiful to watch. I think the dancers did an incredible job, and I think the way you scored this piece was really interesting, and I think it was very fitting, and it came together to be a really beautiful tribute to the environment and to nature in general. So very, very well done.
Whispers of an Urban Forest is a really creative blend of dance and nature as a way to communicate an important message about the environment. I enjoyed the dancing and the creativity of the setting, and I also thought that the costume choices were really well choreographed amongst the dancers.
Whispers of an Urban Forest conjures some haunting, eerie, gorgeous images through the combination of dancing bodies and a kind of very, very specific, interesting environment. It is gorgeous to watch. It also kind of feels like it's using bodies as like the bond between nature and civilization, which I just thought to be a really interesting idea. And again, there's a great use of this environment kind of built into the choreography to enhance what is already very fluid, very hypnotic choreography. It's just a great use of space. There's also a few, there's a tempo shift or two here and there, but they're handled with great grace and delicacy, which just shows great skill both on the choreography side and on the filmmaking side. And the fact that there was kind of like a sense of character, a sense of emotion was being conveyed through these movements, which just made it really, really, really interesting to watch.
I loved this interpretive dance and calling it an urban forest, where it shows everything that goes on within an urban forest, which is a great metaphor for life in the urban cities. The dance, I loved how it started out peaceful, and then with integrated editing techniques, it showed how it was getting more intense. There were times where it seemed like they were fighting. At times it seemed chaotic. And then other times it just seems peaceful, which actually does describe urban life, I think. That it changes from day to day, and this dance really put that in, that it is changing from day to day. Nothing's ever the same. I loved the editing techniques. I loved the score that really kept in movement with the dance. I really, really loved all of that. It was amazing to watch how they go from location to location, where they start out what looks like in a forest and then a building and then outside. It really did show what urban life is like, but through dance.